Imagine a future where American aircraft carriers are obsolete, held hostage hundreds of miles away from any fight. A future where the world's biggest navy, China's, controls the Pacific with an iron fist. That's the future China has been working towards. But while everyone was busy counting their ships, the US was secretly changing the rules of the game. In quiet labs and on classified test ranges, a new arsenal was being forged. We're talking about 5 revolutionary weapons, designed not just to fight a bigger navy, but to make it irrelevant. From hypersonic missiles that arrive without warning to entire fleets of ghost ships, this is the story of how America plans to make its navy untouchable. For years, the story in the Pacific has been all about the numbers. China has been on a shipbuilding spree, creating the largest navy in the world by hull count and dotting the South China Sea with militarized islands. Their strategy is simple. Create a massive keep-out sign, an anti-access/area denial bubble so dangerous that U.S. carriers can't get close enough to be a threat. But what if the game isn't about numbers anymore? What if, while one side was building a bigger wall, the other was figuring out how to make walls obsolete? The United States is now fielding a new generation of weapon systems designed to do just that. These aren't just minor upgrades. They're revolutionary tools designed to pick apart China's entire strategy. Today, we're counting down 5 game-changing weapons entering the U.S. arsenal, each one designed to counter a key piece of Chinese naval power. Kicking things off at number 5 is a weapon that redefines what a long-range attack even is. It's called Conventional Prompt Strike, or CPS, and for military planners, it's a true nightmare. The challenge: China has spent a fortune building hardened command bunkers, hidden missile sites, and fortified naval bases deep inside its mainland. These are the brains of its military operations, protected by layers of air defense and thought to be safe from any conventional hit. So, how do you threaten those targets without having to go nuclear? The solution: you build a weapon that can hit any target on Earth in less than an hour. The Conventional Prompt Strike system is a hypersonic glide vehicle, currently planned for integration on Zumwalt-class destroyers and Virginia-class submarines. Launched by a rocket to the edge of space, the glide vehicle detaches and screams towards its target at over 5 times the speed of sound. Because it maneuvers unpredictably inside the atmosphere, current air defense systems can't really track it, let alone stop it. Why it's a game-changer? CPS is all about speed and surprise. In testing, this weapon has shown it can hit a target with incredible precision after a flight of thousands of miles. Imagine a non-nuclear weapon, fired from a hidden submarine hundreds of miles out at sea, taking out a specific building in a heavily defended complex in under 30 minutes. It gives the U.S. a credible, conventional way to neutralize China's most protected assets in a flash, without warning and without resorting to nuclear weapons. That capability alone creates a massive deterrent to any potential aggression. Next up is a weapon that doesn't just destroy targets. It destroys the enemy's trust in their own senses. It's a revolutionary electronic warfare system called Nemesis, and it can create entire phantom fleets out of thin air. The challenge: China's whole anti-ship strategy, especially its famous carrier-killer missiles, hinges on one thing: finding the U.S. fleet. They've built a huge network of satellites, radars, and sensors just to find high-value targets like an aircraft carrier. But what happens when you can't trust what you're seeing? The solution: Nemesis is a distributed system of decoys that work together to create a perfect illusion. The core of the system is a small, unmanned drone called a long-endurance electronic decoy, or lead. While much about this system remains highly classified, the concept is that a few of these drones can perfectly mimic the radar, electronic, and even heat signatures of an entire group of destroyers, or even an aircraft carrier. They operate as a network, creating a believable, moving ghost fleet that looks just like the real thing to enemy sensors. Why it's a game-changer? Nemesis injects crippling doubt into China's entire process for attack. If their command center sees 3 different carrier groups approaching, which one is real? Do they waste their multi-million-dollar ballistic missiles on a ghost? In modern war, hesitation can be fatal. By forcing China to question its own intelligence, Nemesis can paralyze their decision-making. Budget documents confirm these systems are being procured, preparing to turn the Pacific into a hall of mirrors. Coming in at number 3 is a weapon that completely rewrites the economics of missile defense. Developed by Anduril Industries, the Roadrunner M is a jet-powered, reusable drone that hunts down and destroys incoming threats. The challenge: A classic modern warfare tactic is the saturation attack. An enemy like China could try to overwhelm a U.S. warship's defenses by launching swarms of cheap drones and cruise missiles. A ship's standard interceptors, like an SM-2, can cost over $2 million a shot. Firing those at cheap drones is a losing game financially. Sooner or later, the ship runs out of interceptors and is left defenseless. The solution: enter the Roadrunner M. It's a vertical launch drone that blasts off like a rocket on twin turbojet engines. It flies out at high speed to identify and smash an incoming threat. But here's the genius part. If the Roadrunner is launched and the threat disappears or is handled by something else, it doesn't just blow up. It flies back to the ship, lands vertically, gets refueled, and is ready to go again. Why it's a game changer? The Roadrunner M shatters the terrible cost-exchange ratio of missile defense. Instead of a one-and-done, multi-million-dollar missile, the Navy gets a reusable asset that can be launched at a fraction of the cost. It basically gives a warship a nearly bottomless magazine of interceptors for dealing with drone and missile swarms. This makes saturation attacks far less likely to succeed. With the Pentagon awarding contracts for these systems, the era of trying to cheaply overwhelm a U.S. destroyer is closing fast. For our number 2 spot, we're diving below the waves. While China has been building more submarines, the U.S. has been reinventing underwater combat with the Mark 58 Compact Rapid Attack Weapon, or CRAW. The challenge: submarine warfare is often seen as a slow, patient duel between two giants, each carrying a limited number of heavy torpedoes. How do you get a massive advantage in that silent, deadly world? The solution: you stop dueling and start swarming. The Mark 58 CRAW is a small, lightweight, and agile torpedo. Its genius is in how it's deployed. A system called the Revolver MP lets a single Virginia-class submarine pack multiple CRAWs into a single torpedo tube. This allows the sub to fire a truly staggering number of torpedoes in seconds. One sub could launch dozens of these lightweight torpedoes in under a minute. Why it's a game changer? This technology, which is now entering production, gives a single U.S. sub the firepower of an entire wolf pack. Imagine a U.S. submarine detecting a Chinese fleet and unleashing a wave of dozens of smart, networked torpedoes all at once. China's submarine doctrine simply isn't designed to handle that level of overwhelming, coordinated underwater firepower. It completely shifts the tactical balance of power under the sea back in America's favor. And finally, the number 1 weapon on our list is an air-to-air missile so powerful it reestablishes American dominance in the skies. Its official name is the AIM-174B, but it's better known by its awesome nickname, Gunslinger. The challenge: China has poured money into its air force, developing advanced jets and long-range air-to-air missiles like the PL-15. The objective was to push U.S. carrier aircraft so far away that they couldn't join the fight. The solution: the AIM-174B Gunslinger is America's answer, and it is an absolute beast. It's an air-launched version of the Navy's proven SM-6 missile, and it is massive. Its range is classified but is estimated to be over 250 miles, far beyond China's best missiles. Because its range is so extreme, the launching F/A-18 doesn't even need to use its own radar. It can get targeting data from other assets in the network, like a ship or an AWACS plane, to find its mark. Why it's a game changer? The Gunslinger makes almost any air battle a lopsided fight. It's already in limited operational use. A U.S. Super Hornet can fire a Gunslinger and destroy an enemy aircraft before that pilot even knows they're in danger. The Chinese Air Force is simply outranged. But it gets even crazier. The Missile Defense Agency is looking at adapting this missile to intercept hypersonic weapons. That means a squadron of fighters could create a mobile, airborne shield against some of China's most feared weapons. With its unmatched range and power, the Gunslinger ensures that no matter how many ships China builds, it won't control the skies above them. So what's the big takeaway here? The contest for the Pacific is often sold as a numbers game. Who has more ships, more missiles? But as we've seen, the real fight is a race for innovation. While China focused on building a bigger fleet, the U.S. was developing a smarter one, with an arsenal designed not to meet the threat, but to leapfrog it entirely. From the lightning-fast strikes of CPS and the phantom fleets of Nemesis, to the endless defense of Roadrunner, the underwater swarms of CRAW, and the absolute sky-clearing power of Gunslinger, these 5 systems are designed to pull apart China's strategy. They're a powerful reminder that in the 21st century, The balance of power isn't just measured in steel, but in bold ideas. The future of warfare is happening right now. Which of these 5 technologies do you think is the biggest game changer? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown interesting, do us a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our updates on the tech that's shaping our world. Thanks for watching.